This video is for people who are looking for reasons to actually go after their dreams, go after the things that they want in life, and not be tied down to a job, to working for someone else. I know that leaving a job, leaving that stability seems like a really big deal in your head. I've been there. I basically took the leap so many different times. And I can honestly say that I am in a place in my life where I'm still trying to figure things out currently, but because I took these steps years and years ago, right now I'm not freaking out. So let me explain a little further into what I mean. I moved to LA when I was 23, and I basically built a business from the ground up. This is me having no idea what I was doing. I was basically a server, and I quit my job because I didn't want to be a server anymore. I didn't want to have to ask someone to go to the restroom at work. Like, to me, it sounded absurd. So I told myself, I was like, I'm gonna quit in 2 weeks and I'm gonna figure it out and I'm gonna make it happen. Like, there's no other option. So I quit my job. And in the same week that I quit my job, I actually made enough money to sustain myself. So in making enough money to sustain myself, I kept going. I was like, oh, I could do this. I made this amount of money. Well, I could figure out how to make even more. So 7 years later, I decided that business that I built, I decided to move forward from it because I felt that I wasn't happy anymore. This business is not pouring into me like I want it to anymore, so I'm ready to do something else. And just because of the efforts I took years ago, it was not a big deal for me. I was just like, okay, next. I wasn't worried about failure, or I wasn't worried about psyching myself out to believe if it would work or not. So the reason I'm here is because I want to encourage you as well to, go for your dreams. And I want to give you some reasons why, I feel like you should, and why, it worked for me, and why I'm so happy in my life. Currently, I'm working on a new path for myself. I'm 33 years old. I don't have any kids. I am in a relationship. We're talking about marriage. We're talking about kids. We're talking about moving. So with my clothing store previously, I felt like I couldn't really give into this vision. Like, I couldn't put a lot into this vision if I didn't free myself up with my work life, because my work life was taking a lot of time for me, and aside from that, I wasn't very happy anyway. So I decided to quit the store. I decided to move from it and do things like this that I'm doing right now, feeding into other people, talking about my experiences in my life, and really just like getting paid to be myself. And I remember when I quit my job as a server, I was working on Hollywood Boulevard. I was making like $10 in tips. And I remember one of the servers, she was like, why would you ever want to work for yourself? And honestly, I feel like people who want to quit their jobs, they're met with this type of energy a lot. They're met with people who don't believe that they can do it. And it's not even that. It's not even that they don't believe that you can do it. Is they don't even believe in themselves. They would never in a million years think of doing something like this. So the idea sounds absurd to them. And you might have heard this so many times, but it's true. When people say things to you that, are off-putting or upsetting or not, leaning in the direction of uplifting you, most of the time they're basing it off of their experience in their life. So this young lady would never think to quit her job and work for herself because, number one, she doesn't have a passion outside of this. Number two, she just wants somebody to pay her and it just be what it is. Me, I wanted something else. I was like, I don't want to come here every day. I don't want to get up out of my bed and come here every day and deal with these people and make this amount of money. So I said, screw this. Anything outside of this is better. So I had no idea what I was how I was gonna make this money, but I was like, well, let me try this. The first thing I tried did not work. It didn't work. And this was starting before the 2 weeks. I had tried a little something, and based off of the shaky ground of that not working, I still quit because I was like, I want to have what I want. No other option. And I feel like you need to be in that headspace. Now, I know a lot of people will just talk you out of it. Some people will be like, go for it. But a lot of people will talk you out of it, and not even directly. They would say something shady or say something like, oh yeah, I would never do that, because what about stability? What about your future? Now, a lot of entrepreneurs have a hard time getting on their feet, but once they do, it's amazing. And then those people who pretty much had no space in their head to even think about doing something like that are still doing what they're doing. Now, I would never bash anybody or slight anybody or make somebody feel bad for having a 9-to-5. Like, that's silly. But some people just think different, and I think those types of people, you have to understand that they think different, and it literally has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with them. So the reason I feel like you should go for your dreams is because literally when people talk to me about 9-to-5s, they are usually frustrated. They're talking about how they want to do XYZ, how they want to travel more, how they want to do this, they want to see this person, they want to buy this, and it all can be so possible. It's all the power of what you think. It's all the power of what you think. Your mind determines what's going to happen if you can actually do this. If you gain control of your mind, then everything else is just noise, really. When I have a goal in my mind, I usually organize myself, and that's it. That's my goal. So I see my goal and I'm like a bull, which is funny because I'm a Taurus, but it's my goal and I'm like, I'm going to get it. There's no other option. So I have to free myself from all the things that could stop me from getting to where I'm going. If you think about it, many people have reached their goals in this lifetime. Many people have been successful. Many people have reached the top. Why can't you do it either? Like, it's kind of like you downplay yourself and your ability before you even get started. You think it's too big, you think it's impossible, so you just don't do it, and you'd rather sit somewhere that you do not want to be. Imagine a life doing things that you want to do all the time, and not have to worry about money, and not have to worry about, you know, I gotta be here, I gotta do this. Like, granted, that's what life is. You're gonna have to do some things that you don't want to do in life sometimes, but in general, it's kind of like you have a lot of free time to chase your dreams, which it won't feel like a job, and then you have free time to do things that you want to in your life, like schedule a trip to Africa or something. Like, I don't know, this is person by person, so I don't know exactly what you want to do, but who wouldn't want to build this life for themselves? And I'm strictly talking to people who are entrepreneurs or business owners or something like that, who want to free themselves from this job and just move forward, you know? I literally don't want to work for anybody ever again in my life. So I'm going to make it happen, and that's how my mindset is. Like, I'm gonna make this happen. Now, honestly, at 33, I never thought that I would be pivoting in my career. I never thought that I would be, you know, dropping this clothing store and trying to figure out something else. And honestly, in this time, if I weren't so headstrong, I would feel really, really nervous about how things are going, because it's kind of moving slow. And just because it's moving slow doesn't mean it's never going to happen. I just have to keep my eye on the goal. So for a lot of people, I feel like since it's moving slow, or since they can't see the finish line, or since there's so much around them that's like pretty much detaining them, they feel like this is not for me, and that's not true. You should quit your job. And some people will actually take that advice and be a naysayer in their head and be like, so you gonna pay my bills? Like, that's a cop-out. That's like you being negative towards yourself. You're really downplaying yourself, and you're pretty much chumping what you are able to do in your life. When I say quit your job, what I'm saying to you is that you should free up every ounce of space that you have to make your dreams come true with no question asked. If you want to lose weight, for example, put down the food that's going to make you gain weight. Cold turkey. That's exactly what a job is. The food that you shouldn't be eating. And then you free up your space to eat right, to work out, to do these things, because that's your goal. And then when you make it happen, when you look back and go, oh my God, I lost all this weight, I feel good about myself, and you know, I actually made it happen for myself, then you feel so much better. Imagine looking back today, from today, a year from today, looking back and actually achieving the things that you said you would, leaving that job, going back to that job and be like, hey guys, oh my god, I haven't seen you in so long. And they're like, what are you up to? You're like, well, I started my business and it's going so great and blah blah blah. Entrepreneurship is not going to be a good day every day. I mean, you're going to have obstacles, you're going to have things that you have to make it through. You're going to feel times where you don't feel adequate enough to make it happen. You're going to feel like you cannot. But that's when you step inside your mind and you go, I can do this. This is easy. This is a piece of cake. All I have to do is, and then you do what you need to do to make it work. Honestly, the only excuse in front of you is yourself. You make these excuses in your head. Either you're listening to someone else, or you're just not seeing the bigger picture, or you just don't think you can reach that bigger picture. Whatever it is, this is you stepping in your own way. Your only competition is yourself. What I wish and I hope for people, I just want everyone to be happy. And I know a lot of people want to start businesses. They just don't know where to start. That's why I started my community of entrepreneurs, where now I'm teaching everything I know. Like, I'm like, hey, you want to start a business? Great. Come over here. I'm teaching you like literally everything I learned in this 7 years as an entrepreneur. I'm teaching you how to start your business. I'm teaching you how to get through these obstacles. I'm giving you shortcuts. I'm giving you hints and hacks and everything so that you can be successful. The tools are there. Like, if you want to sign up for the community, I'll put the link in my bio. It's only $29 a month. I put a video out every week on something new, Instagram hacks, or how to set up a website, or how to make your business legal in the eyes of your city. Like, I literally am breaking it down on how to become a successful business, because I was in business for 7 years before I closed it down. The tools are there. Even if you don't want to join my community, there's books. There's plenty of books. There's plenty of people who can give you advice on business. It's truly up to you. So that's why I say you don't need anything holding you back. If this is what you want, put forth everything you have. Make it your only option. And stay focused, dedicated, be patient, and get it done. Come back in like 2 years and leave a comment and tell me where you are in your life. If you quit, if you make plans, you can't even make plans to quit. Like, once I make this amount of money, then I'm gonna quit and actually do it. Like, you don't have to just, whoa, I'm moving to LA. You don't have to do it like that. I did it like that because I literally couldn't stand where I was at, and I was like, no. But you don't have to do it like that. You can even plan to quit. Like, I'm gonna plan to quit in December, or I'm gonna plan to quit once I save $20,000, but actually actively move towards that goal. No excuse, no excuse, no excuse. You know, use what's out there, use the tools. Enjoy my community, because I got a lot to say on there. And I'm even in my community, I'm even giving away my vendor list from my clothing store. I'm giving away a pre-built email list if you need it. I'm also offering to build websites. Like, I learned all these things and I'm literally paying it forward for you guys. So if you need help, please, it's here. Click the link down below and subscribe. Also subscribe to my YouTube. But we're not here to talk about that. Don't listen to anyone else. Like, get out your own head. You can do this. You can. So just do it.